Hello, I'm Jennifer Thatcher. Thank you so much for your interest in my portfolio. The logo that you see on the screen is for Inkjar Studio, my very own graphic design business I opened with my husband in November of 2015. In this video portfolio, you'll get to know a little bit more about me and some of the projects I've been working on. Let's get started. The first thing you need to know about me is I am passionate about graphic design and have been for a very long time. I specifically have a heart for local nonprofit organizations. These include schools, churches, youth sports clubs, such as youth soccer, little dribblers, and so on. I spend most of my time volunteering my time and abilities for Gateway Church in Koontz, Texas. This is where I started going when I was a little girl and eventually met my wonderful husband. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3, and I've been married for 16 years. I showed an early passion for art at age 10 when I began taking oil painting classes from a local artist. In fact, I still like to color and paint with all kinds of mediums, including crayons, matte pencils, and sometimes I even break out the old oil paints. I graduated in 2001 from Silsbee High School with honors. During this time, I took several web design classes, and after graduation, I continued to further my knowledge of web design and graphic design through websites and whatever I found that I could get my hands on. And I'm excited I will be graduating from Full Sail University in February 2017 with a Bachelor of Science in Graphic Design. While I was in high school, I worked with my alma mater, and after graduation, I worked with another school district to create their website from scratch and maintain their website. After this, I subcontracted for a technical company here locally for 3 years, creating websites for various clients. But I've always been volunteering for my church. I've been working on projects for them, including full rebrand, video announcements, website maintenance, Facebook upkeep, print media, digital media, event branding. I've even created a billboard. However, the thing that I'm most excited about is owning Inkjar Studio. I opened this with my husband in November of 2015. Mostly we do screen printing shirts. However, I'm looking forward to being able to expand to graphic design of all kinds of different things. Here you can see the branding for Inkjar Studio. On the left, you have a black and white version of my logo and a full color version of my logo. To me, it was important to include that vintage old ink jar in the logo because that's what I'm drawn to. I wanted something that was high quality and appeared vintage, not only because it's the trend right now, but because that's my personal style. On the right, you see a letterhead, my business cards, and some envelopes that I've created. Here you can see a client letter and an example of an invoice. Again, I wanted both of these to feel refined but sophisticated. The next project is something that I've been working on for several years. And these are different pieces of a rebranding that we completed a few years ago. The top image is our billboard. The final image is much larger than you see it here on screen. And it was quite a challenge to find the right size for the text that was going to look good while people are passing it by on a busy highway. On the bottom, you can see our letterhead and a letter written from our pastor. The next thing that you see, the big circle, is actually a bumper sticker. And then the bottom 2 images are the front and the back of what we call an invitation card. These are given out and to different people so that they can give them out and invite other people to church. My next project was something that I did for class. This was a cover for the book The Giver. The Giver is one of my favorite stories, so I was excited to be able to do something of my own for this book. The image of the apple that you see, I actually drew myself and I painted. I used my Wacom tablet, and I cannot say how much I loved doing it. The imagery and the typography all speak of events in the book. If you haven't read it, I don't want to give anything away. But if you have, you understand the significance of the color red and of how the letters are kind of falling away and disappearing. This next image is just a typical concert poster for Ira Kozlov. He is a fictional classical violinist, and in this piece, I wanted to convey a sense of the conductor pulling the music from within the artist, and the artist himself being made of music and letting that release and be released into the audience that they can enjoy it. This is another project that I had so much fun creating. This is a magazine cover. The title of the magazine is obviously Escape, and the focus of the magazine is vacation and all travel related. The photo that you see used in the background of the cover is a photo that I actually took myself. And of course, I manipulated it as well. I had to clean up the beach from some of the debris and to really get that feel of being fully relaxed and immersed in a tranquil location. You can also see a mock-up of this magazine just laying on a table. One of the final things that I want to show you is called Illumi. Illumi is a fictional company and product that I created. The purpose of Illumi is to work with a physical device installed with a regular light bulb and an app. And the app shows different ways to interact with the light bulb. In the picture on the very right, you can see that some of the light bulbs show that they're on, and the bottom one shows that it's off. The idea is that the user can touch these light bulbs to turn them on and off, and it also shows how new they are or if it's almost time for them to be replaced. But the most important thing that it shows is the type of light bulb that it is. How many of us have gotten to the store and realized, hey, I need a light bulb? What kind was it? Was it a soft light? Was it a 40 watt? Was it a halogen? Oh my gosh, I have no idea. And Illumi was created to help with that problem. But what I'm most excited to show you is the next screen. This screen shows you a very small glimpse inside my head. All of these are actual notes that I used and created while in the brainstorm season of this project. You can see I started with what problems light bulbs had. What are some of the solutions that I can offer? And finally, you see I decided on creating an app. This also shows you the very beginning of what was I going to name the product? What was the logo going to look like? What were some of the things that I was going to have to show my client? This is how I operate, and this is how I approach every project I currently have and future projects. What's the problem? What do I need to solve? And how can I do that? And what's best? You can see that after I spent some time brainstorming the names of the product, I also did some research and found that some of my favorites, even though they were my favorites, were already in use. So I had to find something else. At the very bottom, you can see Illumi, in light. That's the final name I chose. I want to thank you again for taking the time to listen to my video portfolio. If you believe there's anything I can do, please contact me. My name is Jennifer Thatcher, and at the very bottom of the screen, you can see you can email me at inkjarstudio@gmail.com or just give me a call. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again.